everyone to this inaugural function of this two-day workshop on skill development, training and resource center for self-employability. This workshop is organized by the Indian Center for Research and Development of Community Education, ICRDCE, the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of the Synod College, Shillong, in collaboration with the Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Incubation Center, Synod College, Shillong. So once again, I welcome everyone who are here this morning in this program.
Shall we look to God in prayer? Almighty God, we thank you for the gift of another day. Today, as we gather together in this very place for our workshop on skill development, training, and resource center for self-employability. Guide the program right from the start to the end. Bless the speakers and participants with wisdom, clarity, and passion as they share their knowledge. We also thank you, Lord, for the special way you have guided Synod College right from its inception in a very small beginning till it reached this milestone, 60 years of its existence. Once again, we commit all the program in your mighty hand. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Shri S. Wadri, Honorable MLA Mauthat Raishan, who is the chief guest in today's inaugural function. Reverend Dr. Xavier Alphonse, who's the director of the ICRDCE. Dr. P. Wilson, respected principal of Madras Christian College, Chennai. The Vice Chancellor of Captain Williamson Sangma State University, Dr. V. Vijay Kumar, who's supposed to be joining us this morning, but perhaps because of the traffic problem, she has not reached yet. Respected Vice Principal, Dr. M. Rani, who's also the chair of today's session. Dr. W. Karmoplang, the coordinator of the IQAC. All the respected principals, the faculty from various colleges, as well as the representatives and invitees from the different organizations of the state of Meghalaya who are represented here today. On behalf of Synod College, I want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you to this 2 days workshop on skill development, training and resource center for self-employability, which is jointly organized by the Indian Center for Research and Development of Community Education, Chennai, by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Synod College, also in collaboration with the Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Incubation Center, Synod College, as well as partnered by Prime Meghalaya and other organizations. The concept behind the program that we are organizing here, as you may have seen, as you may have noticed from the theme that we have put it up, it's to provide a wide range of trainings to promote skill development, particularly in the marginalized sections of the community. You know, this is a vision which is very close to the heart of the college, because our vision statement itself is to cater to the needs of the student community, in particular the disadvantaged students of the state of Meghalaya. So as I said, this is something which is at the very heart of the vision of the college. And especially as most of us here are represented from the educational academic background, I think the added challenge of the new education policy 2020 has also mandated that we think differently in terms of the kind of education that we are imparting to our students today. there is a shift, there is a move away from mainstream traditional knowledge system to something which is more livelihood based, in alignment with, as I said, the needs and the context of the national education policy. So the whole purpose of organizing this program is to try and seek help from the very best that we have in the country in terms of suggestions, in terms of guidance about how to go about in this new route of vocational and livelihood skills education, so that we can best help our students to align with the goals of the NEP 2020, as well as to build up a population, a citizenry who will be able to stand on their own feet in these very challenging times. So once again, on behalf of the college, thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and I wish this workshop a very, very fruitful and meaningful time. So thank you, and may God bless all of us. Kublai Shubon. Thank you.
Then I request Principal to also felicitate Reverend Dr. Xavier Alphonse.
Very good morning to each and everyone present here at this moment. First and foremost, I would like to thank God the Almighty for having blessed us with this wonderful day where we are all gathered here for this 2 days workshop on skill development training and resource center for self-employability. Principal of the Synod College, Dr. G. Lindo, Reverend Dr. Xavier Alphonse, Dr. B. Wilson, Dr. M. Rani, who is also the Vice Principal of Synod College, Reverend E.R. Kyrpang, who is the President of the governing body of the Synod College, and to everyone present here, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed, it gives me an immense pleasure to be a part of this wonderful program today. In fact, this program, when we talk about skill training or skill development, when you look at Meghalaya, most of our people across the nation, they look at our place as a beautiful place to travel. But yet there's a small point that I would like to add, that Meghalaya, with being so blessed with nature, with everything, and we are a population where most of our population are of the age from 18 to 35. So most of our populations are youth. So when I say that, why do I want to stress on how important skill development is? When we talk about skill development, in my term as a former Minister for Labour, Employment and Skill Development, we realize the importance of skill development. When I say we realize the importance of skill development, is when we looked at the fact that most of our population are of the age from 18 to 35. And when I say we realize the challenges that we face, because since our population is of the age from 18 to 35, the challenges that we face is unemployment. And when we talk about unemployment, unemployment is a global issue that I can say. So in order to fight this challenge, to overcome these challenges, we as a government, to remind skill development, there's a gap between skill and opportunity. So when we talk about that, I realized that we needed to have a plan where we can go forward keeping in mind that we have the best interest for the people of our state, especially the youths. Because when we talk about skill development, I still remember we have so many skill training centers across the state. We have more than hundreds and hundreds of skill training centers. Skill training centers, be it in every sector, be it in agricultural sector, be it in tourism sector, so on and so forth. The skill development program that we had, out of these 25,000, believe it or not, 5,000 are self-employed. The youths are more in our state, and they are encouraging more and more private institutions, let's say colleges or schools, to have these certain programs. Let's get in touch with the government programs that we have. Let's connect, let's converge, so that we can have more and more training programs like this, so that we can open, we can create opportunities for the youth of our state, the educated youth. Make it, that we should have it not only once a year. We'll make it as much as possible, for at the end of the day, it is for the betterment of our youth, of your students as well. And there's a message from our Honorable CM, I don't know the message, but then he has committed that an amount of rupees 2.5 lakhs will be donated for this program today. So with that being said, I would once again thank the college and everyone present here, and I wish this workshop a big success. So with these few words, I conclude my speech. Thank you so much, Bishbon, Mitara, and Jay.
So once again, I would like to wish each and every one of you here good morning. And at this moment, as I propose this vote of thanks, so first and foremost, I would give thanks to our God Almighty for giving us this wonderful day. All of us, we are able to assemble here in good health, and I also look forward that whatever is going to be delivered here in this program, in this 2-day program, it will be fruitful to each and every one of us. And most importantly, I would like to express my sincerest of gratitude for, also at the same time welcome our resource person for this 2 days program. I would like to express my thanks to all our participants from the different institutions. Thank you for your readiness to be a part of our 2 days workshop.
My dear friends, good morning. Good morning. Can you say good morning to me? Good morning. Good morning. Okay. I was very inspired by the speech of the Honorable MLA, and I was very much happy to know that he is a student of Madras Christian College. Sir, we are very, very proud of you, sir. Because Loyola and Madras Christian College are sister institutions. I happen to be the principal of Loyola College, and Dr. Wilson is wonderfully leading the institution. So first of all, it's a great honor and privilege to have been invited all the way to Shillong. Where is Madras and where is Shillong? We have been invited all the way, traveling so many thousands of miles, to come and share with you what we have done, so that it can become a model. So I thank the principal, I thank the management for this. The second point is, I am very much touched. My own team is also there. Mr. Jyothilingam, Ms. Gauri, Dr. Johnson, all of us. When we came and arrived here, we were very much touched by the friendliness, the smile with which we were welcomed, and hospitality, and focus on organizing the program very well. And Principal Lidok, and Mr. Adrian, and IKC Coordinator Kong, and all the staff members of the college. So let us give a big hand to them, and I want to thank them for giving us such a good hospitality and a very good welcome. Now we have started within the walls of the Madras Christian College itself. And in the consultation, we had 2 weeks back, we had a big national consultation because we are celebrating, ICRD is celebrating 30 years of its existence. So I thought it is fit to call all our members, associate members. There were there were 78 institutions and almost 130 to 140 delegates who attended. And I requested Dr. Wilson to give the keynote address. His keynote address was really inspiring. Only thing was, there was not much of time because there was some other speaker. So I told him, sir, I make the reparation. This time you take the full time, sir, and then speak to all the people, because he has got lot of insights. As an academician, it's very difficult to combine academics with skill development. He has got a lot of insights on that, and we will be hearing them. And then I'm so happy that he is here. So he will take the time. And he is also give us a great intellectual feast. I would like all of you to have your pads ready with your pens. As he keeps on going, he will be speaking in a very orderly fashion. I will listen to him. So you can take down, so that will give you a philosophy of suffering. So I'm sure this one maybe came by slip of the tongue, but it may be true. So Meghalaya, if it does it, we can show it as a model. So please, ma'am, that also is there. So we thank you very much for giving us this chance. And I'd like to conclude. Because we should begin this entire meeting on a positive note, on a pessimistic note, on a note where we can say we can do it. When I started in 95, I had one student. Today I have 2 lakhs, more than 2 lakhs of students. So everything begins small, but with God's grace, with God's ability, with the wonderful cooperation of a lot of people who understand this, we can build it up to now I sowed a seed, now it has become a huge branch tree. The branches spreading all over the country. So I like to conclude with the words of Dr. Abdul Kalam, the man who died here, Shillong. But when he went into the Washington Memorial, I have seen that picture, Washington Memorial, he went with thousands of people, said, I have a dream, I have a dream, I have a dream. I have a dream where whites and black children will play together. I have a dream where whites will give them equal opportunities to do the jobs. I have a dream where whites and blacks will become a community to strengthen the American identity. And I have a dream one day blacks will become independent. What is the price he paid for the dream? He was shot dead. He gave his life, and today we had Obama as the President of the United States. So many things can happen, but the starting point is dream, and I consider this seminar, this workshop, everything as a dream. And the dream slowly will take shape, will become a reality, and I wish and pray for coming all the way from Chennai to Shillong. I want in 6 months' time 5 skill centers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, almost we are entering into afternoon, so let me in advance say good afternoon. And dignitaries on the dais, and the principal of Synod College, vice principal, and principals from various colleges, and faculty members from various colleges. I'm happy to be part of this workshop designed for 2 days, as Father said in the morning, that before contemplating on any new schemes or projects, first we need to create a campaign, make people aware of, make people align with the objectives of the new projects that we do. I think they have started this rightly before contemplating on, as Father said, 5 skill centers in Shillong by next year as the target. You need to know why we are here and why are we going to think about these aspects as part of the college. So I have titled my talk this way: Skill Development to Industry Academia Engagement, the Case of Liberal Arts and Science Colleges. So now, why we should do that? First of all, I need to convince you. Why are we talking about this? Now, are we talking about skill development as an another scheme or a project to show for NAC or NARF and get some scores? I think it's not that. NAC and NARF scores are only consequences. We are only trying to do something which is required for the country's need, social objective and global need. So if you look into the skill deficit in the whole world, I think the education system is now getting realigned. All over the world, I'm not talking about India, Tamil Nadu alone has a skill supply-demand conflict of 48%. So what does it mean when I say supply-demand conflict? Well, the economists might understand. The conflict between supply and demand. It means there is a demand for workforce, but the supply is 50% less. People say that they're jobless. I hope you understand. There are jobs, but we are not ready with our portfolio building to map our expertise with the required job descriptions of the available job. That's the meaning of that. So 50% of the workforce is wasted now from the college, and we are talking about community colleges, we are talking about National Skill Development Corporation, but still the efforts that the government of India, government of Tamil Nadu, other state governments have made has not reached out to these stakeholders completely. So that is one pain point, I would call it as. So that's why we are talking about that. And next is, if you look at the Gen Z students, recently we heard about Nepal's Gen Z approach, how it toppled the government. Gen Z students generally, their mindset is completely different when it comes to consumption. If you look into the policies of the college, what they do is they invite students from other countries and charge them heavily and cross-subsidize the domestic students by the money they receive from the international students. Now, Trump has already given stringent rules for visa. So, international student influx also has come down. Now, there is a conflict now. On the one side, the recession has its impact. The other side, influx of students from other countries is not there. So, they look at the number of departments which are not having admissions, they begin to close the departments. I hope trying to articulate it from my own thought process. So these are the reasons that we are struggling to get admissions in institutions. And the new age curriculum does not bother about physics or chemistry or mathematics or economics in isolation. The whole world is now moving towards, now into economy now. The whole economy is moving from agrarian economy to a knowledge economy. So I'm giving you reasons after reasons. Knowledge economy doesn't perceive physics as physics, chemistry as chemistry. Knowledge economy says, you do whatever you want, blend all the subjects together and give me some innovation, create some value, I pay for it. This is knowledge economy. Convert your knowledge or monetize your knowledge. It's going to be very, your education loan that you're going to go to very less. And if you get a placement because of the UK degree or Australian degree, you will be able to pay back and finish the loan. So looking at the way parents are also, after pandemic, my mindset of parents, they don't want to send their kids because of the experience, the trauma they went through the pandemic, COVID-19, they couldn't get their children back. So because of that, now parents have changed their mindset, not sending the kids, they're all looking forward for it. All these things are having synergy, naturally, finally hitting the arts and science colleges very badly, where we run short of candidates for enrollment. I hope I've given you a clear account, which I have never dreamt, it comes automatically. I'm able to correct now. So Gen Z students are looking, if you talk to Gen Z students, they are not interested in sitting here in the classroom and listen to your regular theory classes. They say we want some experiential learning. They use a word now, immersion programs. They call it a social immersion or any immersion programs.
Could you tell us about the Gen Z student? What is that?
Yeah. See, if you look at the taxonomy, silent generation, those who were born before 1970 are silent generation. Then after that, baby boomers. And after baby boomers, we have Generation X. Then after Generation Y, then Gen Z. So before people who Generation X, people are called millennials. Now, the students who are studying in 8th standard or 9th standard, they are called alpha kids. They are going to come to the college in 5 years. Wait for your alpha kids and welcome them. They are going to be different kinds of species. So because they were born after smartphones, and even Gen Z, they were born after smartphone. So they have not seen even a dial, the regular, the phone that we use. It's like you give an Instagram page to your kid. The kid will keep on turning it in every 8 seconds. That's the meaning of the attention span is 8 seconds. Now we are dealing with these students in the classroom, teaching like how we taught the 1970s kids. Just you see the kind of suffering that we are imparting to our Gen Z kids because of our insensitivity. They say, we don't want any more theory classes. We don't want to consume knowledge in bulk for 45 minutes, 55 minutes per hour. No, one period is called 50. You give us in bite-sized information. They want to consume in bites. It's called micro modules. So the learning management system is completely changed to this particular way, where people want to consume knowledge in bites and then they want to assemble it. So now the whole teaching pedagogy has changed. The way you administer knowledge dissemination is completely undergoing a shift. If you are sensitive enough, you'll be the successful teacher in the classroom. And I think mostly in US, they have liberated students from attendance. No more attendance is marked in the classroom. I hope you understand. Yesterday I read about Harvard's the problem they go through. Students are not sitting in the classroom. I can forward the article. Students are not sitting in the classroom. Even if they are sitting in the classroom, they are sitting with gadgets and they are working, and they are not very liberal like how they were earlier, because class teachers were so conservative. So in the examinations they write whatever the class teachers say, whatever class notes they give, they write. Harvard was never like that. Harvard is completely changing. In addition, Trump is also cutting all the subsidies to Harvard. So whole Gen Zs, the way they behave is a bit different from how our Gen Y or Gen X or millennial kids were behaving. So now looking at the intergenerational conflicts, now why I'm saying is, why I'm using the word intergenerational conflicts. Moving from silent generation to baby boomers, it took a long time. Because it is all about socio-cultural changes, it is all about technology changes that were happening during that time, very, very slow. But as we progress further from Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, it is like a quick transition of demography. From Gen X to Gen Y, we jumped quickly. From Gen Y to Gen Z, we jumped quickly. So what happened now? The same time in the classroom, a Gen X teacher is teaching Gen Y sometimes and Gen Z kids together. So it intergenerational conflicts now. They all look forward for an experiential learning. So can we make all the lessons that we teach in the classroom as projects and practicals? No more theoretical framework? This is a question that we need to analyze before we get into this stuff. And formal degrees, nobody wants formal degrees now. That is and push off. So there are a lot of conflicts now arising because of this workload problem. Now, how will I decide a classroom now? How will I know the second year students will have 50 science students or 70 science students? Because in the first year itself they get the certificate and push off for a job. What will I do? In third year, if I don't have enough students, automatically I have to redeploy the faculty member if they are government aided to another institution. Can it be possible? All those questions need to be answered. We don't have answers for those things because when a scheme is given, when a new policy is given, they will not give a clear SOP. SOP will take a lot of time because we have to experiment it for some time and all the queries will arise and finally they will try to consolidate SOP. So looking at all these things, what I would like to say from first slide is that we need to begin to reimagine the higher education. I hope you are convinced. I will not take much time like this for all the slides. Lifelong learning, as I said, students now, what they think is now, I am just giving you their perspectives. After +2, if they are good at speaking in English, it's more than if they have numeracy, if they are able to know numbers, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, if they ever know these four, if they are able to speak in English, if they are able to communicate well, if they are able to behave properly, I think they immediately, smart way, they try to think of it. We need to revise the benchmarking regularly to see whether our courses are rightly benchmarked. And everywhere human beings are involved. So benchmarking, I used to invite now industries this way. You please give me quality control. It's a designation. For quality control, you give me the regular practice as to a worker gets into the company from morning to evening, what does he do? You give me the SOP of the process that he does. We will convert, as academics, we articulate that into a syllabus as module, where we know how to do a curriculum designing. So we'll convert that into modules. So student will only learn that aspects through a professor of practice who has already got 15 years of experience in the industry. He may not have PG degree, he may not have qualified in SET or NET, he may not have completed his PhD, but 15 years of experience if he has as a professor of practice, he can empanel himself into a UGC panel, and we can pick him up from the UGC panel and enroll them into our own institution and use them. I call this as a professional standard. So the guy who practices in the industry comes and teaches the same SOP to our students. So if you know what happens now after placement, when you complete your placement, when you send our students to corporates, first what they say is, please forget whatever your teachers have taught in the college. It's called unlearning, then relearning. So they don't simply, what is left over is the arithmetics that we have taught, addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and English, articulation in English. These two are left, they will not change that. Apart from that, whatever we have taught, they are trying to completely erase, relearn. Instead, if you learn through a professional standard, you will easily jump into the industry and start working in the industry seamlessly. So this is what now we are looking forward for, the ecosystem model that I am talking about. So Skills Center is one aspect of the ecosystem model. Okay. Now what do students say is, I want to study and learn. I want to work and learn. UGC has floated this idea called apprenticeship enabled degree programs. So apprenticeship enabled degree programs means work integrated learning. It's called WIL. You can Google this. You can note down work integrated learning. Go to Google's. Meet you with chalk piece finally. Finally, there is a chalk piece on you, right? I don't know in Shillong. In Tamil Nadu, they'll throw a chalk piece on the teacher if the teacher exceeds the limit. So this is how we are torturing students. No, we need to change along with students. So think about skill development in this way, where up to level 9, we can try to think of offering skill related degree. Can the institution feasibly launch skill development courses aligned with students' interests? Are students likely to participate actively in such initiatives once implemented? Okay. So these are the questions we have in our mind. Immediately will they come and join? Okay. It's not so easy. No, for articulating it's fine. First of all, campaigning, as we do now. We call all the faculty members, we do a campaigning. I'm giving you justification. By justification, you're all awake now. Only few of you are sleeping, I could see. Others are awake now. You're able to align with me now, what I'm trying to say. Once you're convinced, you will own this concept, you'll go back to the institution, you'll talk to your principal, and probably you'll make efforts to repurpose yourself towards a changed context. If you don't do this, whatever I articulated in the previous slides would not happen. So you have to align your colleagues. You have to align your faculty members. Without which nothing will happen. That is number one. Number two, now we are all moving into learning management systems now. I hope every college, we have not bought it, now we are thinking we have constructed a learning management system, still we are working on it. Every institution, now Google, you have a Google Classroom, that's more than enough to start with. But if you want to really have an analytics as part of it, now as a principal you might know how many students have failed in a particular paper, how many students have done this. If you want to learn analytics, you'll have one dashboard, whole college profile will be for you. So when you make a decision, look at the data, you can make informed decision. That is why learning management system is very, very important. It will curate their social handle practices. It will curate, there are students who can learn by reading, writing and thinking in a classroom. They are all first benchers. There are students who cannot write, they are dyslexic guys. But they can drive car beautifully, or they can do. These students are cognitive learners. These students are psychomotor learners. These students are affective learners. Now if you are able to create a learning management system and offer them modules, for example, I want to learn one particular concept. I don't want to learn through a paragraph. I want to have one video bite to learn the concept. So I would opt for a video bite because I'm a visual learner. The outcome is going to be in the examination, you'll only ask the same question. Maybe they have to come back to the examination, write and score marks. But they learn through visual means. So they'll express their visual learning through writing and score marks. Thereby, you make your education very inclusive to students. So now we are all moving, now if you want to do the skill, you have to profile the students. That's why I talked about different kinds of learners that we have. If you do a profile, I said campaigning is very important. Number two, I said you profile the students and place them accordingly in the particular skill development course. Okay. I mentioned about, Google surveys we can use Google surveys also to find out. Otherwise, we started a course on Q-commerce. It's called quick commerce. We didn't have too much students. The failure was campaigning. We didn't campaign it properly. Quick commerce is all about Zomato, Swiggy. They use quick commerce. Now, Department of Commerce is redefining itself. Cryptocurrency is a new advent now. If you don't learn cryptocurrency, next year your student will learn and teach you. If you don't learn quantum computing in all the domains, your students will learn quantum computing through IBM and he will come and teach you. So as teachers, we need to have skill development as part of level 7, level 8, level 6 and get ready. That is the point that I want to drive you all towards. So next one is, can we integrate the skill development as part of the curriculum? I hope integration is very much possible. You follow curriculum CBCS pattern? Are you following CBCS? Because you are from university, you do not know university is following CBCS, because from 2003 the UGC has already asked us to follow CBCS curriculum. So all the universities are following CBCS. That's why we Azis. No point in talking about that. They will change completely. Be ready now, be proactive. They will completely change the scenario. Skill and passion profiling and supply demand. No, these are things that you need to be aware of. I talked about supply demand conflicts now. You have to know for Shillong or Meghalaya, what is the skill deficit? Is it 20% or 40%? If so, what are the traits, general skill sets of the Ghazis? Then if you are able to analyze that, the region, the cohort specific, regio specific and global specific skill sets you can bring in. So if you map all the three, it will sell in the market anyway. If it is mapping with national, local and regional level, definitely the skill set will market. The particular course BCom is sellable in Meghalaya, BCom is sellable in Tamil Nadu. Global level it is sellable, BBA is sellable in Tamil Nadu and here. So you have to find out those skill sets and map it with skill qualification framework. Thereby you will be able to probably offer. Thereby your enrollment will be not at stake. You have to think about, I'm only talking about enrollment now. Skill development programs designed to impart industry relevant skills. Now you see the real-time practices, the compliances, even now I want to tell you, in the education sector we don't know the compliances. So if you go to companies, they have a lot of compliances as per the statutory compliances we call it as. So those things, QC guy has to know QC statutory compliance. QA, quality assurance guy should know quality assurance statutory compliance. All those things are very important. Practices are SOPs and processes. Then hard skills, bench skills he has to learn, which we teach through skills. And soft skills, mostly the advantage for level 7, 8, 9 is that the guys from 4 we are struggling is, however we try our level best, we are working on English language teaching further now. He has to take up a job, or he wants to progress for PG, or he wants to become an entrepreneur. I have expressed that in 3 words. If he wants to take up a career pathway, he wants to get placed. If he wants to go for PG, he is looking forward for an academic pathway. If he wants to be on his own, he is looking for the entrepreneurship pathway. Now, when you design courses, when you try to design courses, your skill development, it can be, like supposing I am doing chemistry, I want to move into public policy. I don't have any foundational course. I am little bit moving away from skill to competency. If I don't have anything, I want to do my masters in public policy. Do you have, student Gen Zs are asking, do you have a micro credential worth 30 hours? 30 hours online module. It's like synchronous, asynchronous, physical on campus. You can have them for 10 hours on campus. Remaining you can have it in your LMS, Learning Management System, recorded teaching with periodicals, tests. Do you have such foundational courses which I can credit and use that as part of my CV, my portfolio, and apply to foreign universities and ask them for public policy admissions? This is career academic pathway. If you provide this student support service, your college will be working, you will be alive forever. So I'm giving you a lot of inputs to make your college relevant in the coming days. So academic pathway courses, career pathway courses through NSDC, level 9 till level 9 you are able to provide. And then entrepreneurship pathway. For entrepreneurship, we have to handhold students to understand what is innovation and how that innovation can be incubated and it can become startup. Maybe 10 to 20%. So when the parents come, the 3 kinds of parents would come to your institution. One would say, I want my guy to exit after 3rd year, get into a job.